Hey guys, I just saw Taika Waititi's Jojo Rabbit. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to section this video into different parts. The first minute is basically me talking about what I thought could be improved on, what I hated, and then my overall opinion at the end. So this film follows a child called Jojo, and he has an imaginary friend, Hitler. And in this universe, I don't think Hitler really exists, but it's just a kind of psychological thing in his head. And he's basically his mentor or guide, and play it as like he's this silly kind of Mr. Bean type character. But I just find it really unnerving and kind of creepy because when you're doing this and taking a famous but despised historical character like Hitler, and you want to turn it into a film, you have to really like get it right. And I don't think this film really like pushed it that hard. Okay, there was one thing that I thought was okay. The cinematography is pretty beautiful. I do like the area, although I wish I could see more of the town that Jojo lives in and the culture and stuff, but that's not really what the film's about. The film is basically about him learning that Jews aren't as bad as he thought they were, and for that, I think they tackle it well. It's just the Hitler aspect, which is a big aspect of the film, which is why I'm so annoyed by it. Now, I'm all for dark humour. I love dark films, but they have to have a reason and a purpose to be integrated into the story, and I don't think this does. Maybe it came out at the wrong time, but if you're gonna do it, make sure it's right, or get the right director. Not that this guy's like a bad choice. He's done good films in the past. Okay, now let's get on to the stuff I really hated, and this is the main point of why I'm making this review. I think it's way too harsh. There's some scenes like they tell him to kill the rabbit, and that's how he gets the name, and they mock him so much, and none of it's needed. Like, I get that they're Nazis and they're trying to encourage him to do bad things, but it's just too forced, I think, for the film, and it doesn't really work in its favour. And it just drones on and on, really, which I wouldn't mind if it was interesting, but to me it's really not. The only plotline that I thought was slightly interesting and you could have developed more was the relationship between Jojo and the Jewish girl. But even that's a bit weird. The first time they meet, it's a bit like an odd connection, like you haven't seen a friend in a couple of years. And they have this big argument and they fight and they're not really, you know, she thinks he wants to kill her because he's a Nazi, and then he learns, and I just don't think it was really that strong. That said, let me just talk about a few of the okay elements. I did like, there was this one scene where this German soldier told him to leave because he sacrificed his own life, which I think was nice. Actually, the ending of this film isn't too bad, except for a little dance thing at the end, which completely ruins the whole, like, theme and atmosphere of the film. But yeah, the atmosphere parts where there's not much talking, there's a bit of music, and you can just see the landscape, really adds to the character, I think, of the film. But that's just what I want. That's not what the film's about, which is why it really let me down, because when I see this film, I'm like, okay, so how are you going to tackle this, and are you going to do it right? And it doesn't meet those two marks, and it doesn't even really improve on the stuff I really liked, because it's always like, it's always moving, it's always like, okay, we've got to do this, we've got to do this, let's fit this in, you know, it's rushed a bit. Also, the acting from the mum, played by Scarlett Johansson, is just a bit weird. And, I mean, it's not the worst part of the film, but I feel like they could have done a couple more takes, or like, cut her out of the story altogether. The story is mainly about Jojo, so I want to know more about him. And he's like even really somebody I want to know about. Yeah, none of it really grabbed my attention, but that's just what I think. If you like this movie, fine, I will not watch it with you. But, you know, it gets lots of good reviews. I know it's just a film, but it's a film based on Hitler, and it's in Hitler times, and I don't think it tackles that very well. But that can just be me, you know, I can have my own opinion. But, yeah, that's what I think. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't go crazy in the comments if I didn't like it, because that's pretty much my opinion. I feel like they could do this film better. That's just what I think. So yeah, I guess that's it. And see you next time. Goodbye.